hello, I hope you're alright. We are going to make a brown chicken stock, okay? So, brown chicken stock for a sauce, okay, a reduction sauce. We're just going to go through the basics, really, okay? So, obviously, key to this is chicken bones, okay? So, we've got some chicken bones chopped up from the carcasses, yeah? So, I made another video. Chicken for saute and supreme, so all my chicken bones are there chopped up. Alright, so nice and small, not massive carcasses, we want bits, yeah? And then we've got our basic mirepoix veg. So mirepoix veg will be a rough cut of vegetables. So we've got some topper leeks, yeah? Alright, just the ends that I'm not really going to use, so I just took the ends off. We've got a couple of carrots, got some garlic, got some celery, we've got some onions, I've got some parsley stalks, a little bit of rosemary and some bay leaf. Okay, so this is going to make up our mirepoix veg, okay? But first we need to get our chicken bones into the oven to roast, okay? So I'm just going to push this to one side. All right, I'm going to bring in a tray. All right, I'm going to put all my chicken bones onto the tray, yeah? So we're making a brown stock, yeah? So obviously we need to brown our chicken bones off, and we're going to brown our veg off as well. Okay, so straight onto a tray, really hot oven, all right? They're going to be in there for about half an hour to 40 minutes, all right? We want caramelization, we want color, which is then going to color our stock, okay? So more color the better. Obviously not going to burn them, all right? But we want color. So in the oven, high as you can, for about half an hour, 40 minutes, okay? So whilst our bones are in the oven, we're going to start back on our mirepoix veg, okay? So our rosemary and thyme, rosemary and bay leaf, I'm just going to put in a bowl, okay, to one side. The same with my parsley stalks, just in a bowl to one side, and then we're going to prep the rest of our veg, okay? So the garlic, really easy. I'm going to use a whole bulb of garlic. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just going to chop this bulb of garlic in half, okay, and put that with my herbs, all right? So the more flavour that we can get in to our stock, the better, all right? I'm just going to put our leeks to one side, and that, and our carrots, and then I'm going to sort our onions out, okay? So we're going to peel our onions, okay? So peel off the onions, just to get the skin off, okay? So we're not going to chop these all nice, we're just going to roughly chop them. So mirepoix veg is rough cut vegetables for stock, all right, soups. So we've peeled make sure you keep a nice clean board, okay? Make sure we wipe down our board, okay? We keep nice and clean. I've got a bowl for all my rubbish. All right, so always when you're prepping stuff, make sure you're ready. I've got a bowl for my good stuff. I've got a bowl for my rubbish, okay? We're keeping nice and clean. Our onions, I'm just going to chop into chunks, okay? So these are shallots, they're just going to go in half, all right? Our stock is going to be on for about 4 hours, okay? So we can't have a lot of small veg because obviously it's going to break down, all right, and it's going to go to a mush. And our celery I'm just going to chop in half and chop into nice chunks, okay? But we're not going to put a whole carrot in, all right, because you're not going to get a lot of flavour, okay? We're just going to chop it in half and chop it into, try and get them all about the same size. But like I said, we don't want things that are going to be really small because we don't want it to break down. We don't want to make into a soup, all right? We want a sauce, all right? So we use these main veg, so root veg, okay? So they're all very hard vegetables, okay, and they're not going to break down. So we're not going to make stock out of peppers and stuff, okay, because obviously they're going to break down. Courgettes, they need to be hard vegetables, okay? So all my veg is chopped up, all right? So this is my mirepoix veg, and the next, obviously our chicken bones are in the oven browning. The next step is to get these into a pan and brown them off. So we've got a nice hot pan. We're going to add a little bit of oil, but not a lot, because we don't want an oily stock, okay? So we're going to let the oil warm up. we're going to add our veg in. Okay, so all our veg in, you can hear it sizzle. We want our veg to brown, okay? So what we're going to do, we're not going to play around with it. We are just going to leave it there for a minute, okay? Because the more we stir it, obviously, the more it's going to get less hot, okay? So we're going to leave it there just brown for a minute. We'll stir it every 2 minutes, okay? For the next 10 seconds. You see, our vegetables are lovely and browned off. Okay, we've got some colour on them. Alright, now we're going to add our chicken bones to the pan. Okay, so take them off the tray that you roasted them in. We don't want to add any of the fat to it, okay? So we're not going to drain the whole tray into our pan. We're just going to take the bones off the tray, leaving the fat behind. Okay, and they go straight into our pot with our vegetables. We're now going to turn the heat up of the pan. So all our lovely roasted chicken bones have gone in the pan there. As you can see, we're going to give it a little bit of a mix around. Okay, so we've got our brown veg, our brown chicken bones. We're now on a high heat. We're now going to deglaze the pan with some red wine in a second. Okay. So glaze the pan with a glass of red wine. We need to burn the alcohol off first before we're going to add our liquid, okay? So we're going to cook the alcohol down so we're not finished. So our finished sauce hasn't really got a nasty vinegary wine taste to it, okay? So I'm going to add a tomato to it as well, and then once our wine has boiled down, which it has, we're then going to add water. Okay, we add water to cover. We add enough water to cover the chicken and the vegetables. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're now going to bring this just below the boil. Okay, and then we're going to turn it down low for about 4 to 6 hours. Okay, 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, up to you how strong you would like your chicken stock. Okay, when it comes to the simmer, we're just going to skim it though, and then we're going to leave it to simmer away. As you can see, my chicken stock is now coming to the simmer, and all the impurities are coming to the top. So we need to take these off. Okay, so we end up with a lovely clear stock. So as the the impurities and the fat come to the top, we're going to carry on gently skimming this off the top with a ladle. Okay, throughout the cooking, okay, because obviously as you cook it, some of the fat's going to come to the top. Alright, so as we cook this now, we're going to turn this down to a lovely simmer. Okay, turn this down to a simmer, and simmer for about 2 to 4 hours, up to 6 hours, completely up to you, but carry on taking all this froth off the top, and then if you see any fat comes to the top. So these are impurities that are going to make our finished stock and our sauce cloudy. Okay, so see you later. So our brown chicken stock has now been on for 2 hours, 2.5 hours nearly. Again, we can keep going to about 2 hours, 4 hours. We've got a lovely colour. Okay, so what we need to do now is put this through a fine chinois. Okay, so it's a fine mesh chinois. We're just going to gently pour it through. Okay, and then we'll end up with a lovely brown stock, but then we can then reduce down for a lovely jus sauce. Yeah, as you can see, lovely. So we just gently put that through a fine sieve. We don't want to push it down because we don't want any of the bits to go through. We just want the lovely golden liquid, and there it is, our beautiful brown stock. Chicken stock that we can just skim off that fat off the top. That's just a little bit of excess fat. I've been skimming it as it's been boiling or simmering away. So there's our brown stock, okay? I'm now going to reduce this down for a sauce, okay? So, very hot pan. We're going to reduce this down for the next half an hour to an hour and make a lovely thick jus. Right, and there we have our lovely brown chicken stock. Okay, I'll reduce it by about a quarter, okay, just to enhance the flavour a bit. And there you have a beautiful brown chicken stock. Okay, so that can now be used for a sauce. It can be reduced a bit more. We can add some red wine to it to make a lovely red wine jus, or we can do whatever you like with it. I'm gonna set this in the fridge and use it for the next video. All right, what you'll find is the gelatin out of the bones will coagulate it and make it go jellified, so don't worry about that. But yeah, really simple brown chicken stock. Hope you enjoy.